typed all this up, wrote it all down. And I'm just going to give it to you kind of bluntly. There have been so many signs and synchronicities. It almost feels like a download overload. So I was trying to understand what the connection is between the Rose Codex, or some people call it Sophia, the Divine Feminine, or it has to do with Mary Magdalene. Not the stuff that we were taught. Always the throat. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I'm going to record this. I don't know what the date is that it's going to be seen. Maybe it's not meant to, but I'm going to record it anyway. So, I have become aware since I started my awakening journey in 2018, the end of 2018, beginning of 2019. I had a complete overwhelm, overload, breakdown, spiritual breakthrough. I don't know how you want to look at it, and it really doesn't matter. That was kind of the beginning of a spiritual journey for me, of opening up to a lot of things, especially our innate gifts. I don't even like to call them gifts because they're our abilities. They are just simply who we are. And I started having glimpses, glimmers, visions, understandings, knowings of what we were told about Mary Magdalene, even Lilith and Sophia and Jesus was not true. It just wasn't true. That's a fact. And I will stand by it. And I'm adamant about it, because when the truth comes in, when you know, you know. So I started getting glimpses of the universal laws. Then Thoth or Thoth, some people call him like an Egyptian, I think he was an Atlantean, is what I visualize when I get the visions. That's the universal laws, the Emerald Tablet. Then there was like the Rose Code, which goes with Sophia and Mary Magdalene. And then there was the 0 point, which kept coming in. And then the Ankh or Ankh, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Then Gnosticism or Gnosticism, and depending on who you ask is determined on how it's pronounced, but that's kind of with everything. Then there was my in-depth fascination and study with Carl Jung and the shadow work and individuation, which to me again is awakening awareness, and then how it tied into the tarot cards. This is all connected. This is all connected. The connection between them is that Thoth or Thoth, which is the Atlantean, was known to have an I'm going to call it an Ankh. I don't know what to call it. I call it right, but different people call it different things. And it was also, the Ankh was also part of the Rose Codex with Mary Magdalene, and it's used for healing. So they say that the center of it is a portal between crossing from one realm to another. They also say it's almost like the womb of a woman, because you have to pass through to come in to the earth world from the spirit world during birth. So there's some significance here. And as the time passes, I will be able to get more in depth, because as the information comes in, I can share it with you. Let's start with the Rose Codex, which is Sophia, the Divine Feminine, which is related to Mary Magdalene, Jesus's wife, because she was the one that was the Divine Feminine with Jesus when he was bringing through the word the doing of the Divine Masculine. She was being the nurturing Divine Feminine, which was healing. So the Rose Codex, the Sophia or Mary Magdalene Divine Feminine, the Living Rose Codex is described as living vault of remembrance in the vibration of truth. It restores the divine wisdom of the feminine within the human body, and it functions as a modern feminine focused transmission of ancient hidden wisdom, specifically aligning Mary Magdalene Isis lineage. It is considered a map. Visualize a rose or look at a rose and see the sacred geometry in it. The map for ascending from a material distortion to a higher state of being. Here's more that came in with that. The rose line, or the pathway often associated with Mary Magdalene, the Divine Feminine Sophia, the Rose Codex represents the living vault, or a serpentine current of memory, which acts as an inner spiritual map to reweave humanity with Divine Sophia. It's a bloodline of light. It's the sacred way of the heart. It's aimed at restoring unity, serving as a modern experimental channel for the ancient Gnostic wisdom. We need to remember who we are, where we came from, and the truth is going to come in, and it can't be stopped. And the lies that we were taught and we believed will be exposed. It's inevitable, because the light is maybe not as many, but bigger, brighter, and winning. There's no denying it. Okay, let's go to the 0 point, because that's important, because I hit on this before. The 0 point energy is the context represented by the ground state. It's point 0. It's the void. It's the place of least resistance and the silent center where the human mind interfaces with the divine. This is meditation. It's the alchemy. It's the birth of the feminine Christ body in the flesh. Christ consciousness, not Jesus. We're all that. Within a tradition of the 0 point, or the center of primordial state of unity. See how it brings us back to unity. All this stuff that I've been channeling in on the previous videos, it's all coming to fruition. It's all coming to an understanding, an inner awareness, an inner knowing that can't be stopped. It's a remembering. We've always been the I am. We just forgot. We're not becoming the I am. It's been eclipsed by lies and deceit and betrayal. It's totally fine. They were operating from that level of consciousness. It has nothing to do with us per se. It has to do with them. Let's not even focus on that, because where you put your attention and your energy, that's what you get. So let's just completely pull away from that we were lied to and what the lies are, and start focusing on the truth. Let's get into the solution. So, divine source from which all reality emanates and to which the soul returns. Tarot is also considered a map. The tarot, specifically the major arcana, is viewed as an encoded visual representation of the hermetic journey of the soul, a map, to the halls of Amenti, which is a Gnostic space that mirrors the path from ignorance to divine awareness. Okay, so we went from the Rose Codex to the 0 point. Now we touched a little bit on Thoth, which is Hermetic, which is Hermes, Tehuti, Mercury. I can't even pronounce that, but Thoth is the architect of sacred geometry. The rose is sacred geometry. It's universal laws, and it's the blueprint of law and order. He is described as the scribe of the gods and the messenger who connects humanity to higher intelligence. He represents the mind that makes deep truth knowable, mapping dimension 0, 0 point. The source to the screenplay. We're all just souls playing roles. To the screenplay of the material universe. Okay, so then the other information that came in was Thoth is the ancient Egyptian deity of wisdom, magic, and writing. Notice he's always a scribe or a writer, so I would tap into that energy when you're writing. Just a thought. He's considered the author of the Emerald Tablets. He is often depicted holding the Ankh, the symbol of life, and acts as the Lord of divine words, who maintains cosmic balance and order, which would be the universal laws. Bringing the truth. He's the messenger that brings the truth to humanity. This didn't come in for no reason. It came in for a reason. So here I am presenting it to you. The Ankh, the life ascension. It's the key of life, eternal life, functioning as an antenna or conduit for the divine power, life force, prana, kundalini, that permeates the universe. It's a tool for resurrection and ascension, used by initiates to build a light body and navigate dimension. Traversing the solar boat of the Egyptian mysteries. I'm going to stop there because I'm going to say, I got a tattoo of a cross not because of the crucifixion, but because of the resurrection, because Jesus was resurrected into a light body through the Ankh. This is what Thoth is trying to bring through to tell us. When we go into the 0 point, which is in meditation, the quiet space, the silence, the nothing and the everything, that's when we're in direct connection with Source, God, Creator, Supreme Being. It's where all this came from for me. Thoth is ancient Egyptian. I think he's Atlantean. Deity of wisdom, magic, and writing. Considered the author of the Emerald Tablets. He's often depicted holding the Ankh, which is the symbol of life, the tree of eternity, or eternal life, the divine messenger of words. Bringing truth to humanity. That's the way it came through. So, universal laws. I'm going to mark this because I don't want to forget it. I want to come back to it. Universal laws is Hermetics. These laws, also considered the Green Tablet, often attribute to Thoth, governed the lattice of invisible principles in the universe. They include principles like as above, so below. Universal law number 3. Law of correspondence, as above, so below, as within, so without. Universal law number 1, we are all one. Okay, so they also has the law of vibration, which is applied in the Living Rose Codex. Law of vibration. Meaning this is what connects Thoth and the universal laws, or the Emerald Tablet, to the Rose Codex. The Rose Codex being Sophia, the divine feminine, Mary Magdalene, the wife of Jesus. Helps the souls navigate the screenplay of life. Again, the screenplay of life came out. So universal law, the mechanics, the teaching associated with Thoth, Gnosis stress that the universe is governed by laws of vibration, polarity, rhythm, in cause and effect. Mastering these is seen as an essential for soul evolution and returning to 0 point. Purify. Let's go with tying a few things together here. So the universal laws, okay, Gnosticism is the pursuit of gnosis, which is direct personal knowledge of the divine, the 0 point, as opposed to intellectual doctrine. The Rose Codex framework acts as a Gnostic path aiming to collapse religious distortions and reassemble the divine Sophia inside the body. The material world is a trap. The Gnosticism is addressed by using the Ankh, the Kundalini light, to rise from the material body to the light body resurrection. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, Carl Jung, the founder of analytical psychology. Okay, so he believed that modern humanity could reach the same Gnostic state as enlightenment through a process called individuation, enlightenment, awareness, integration of the consciousness and unconscious mind. Carl Jung found in Gnosticism and alchemy, the direct descendant of Thoth Hermeticism, the symbolic language of the collective unconsciousness. Universal law number 1, we are all one. You tap into that consciousness and get the answers to things. If you're in a 0 point space in meditation. Tarot, the book of Thoth. The tarot cards are considered a visual repository of Thoth's universal wisdom. The Thoth Tarot, created by Aleister Crowley, this I had to look up, merges the major arcana with Kabbalistic, astrological, and hermetic symbolism, serving as a tool to map the journey of the soul back to source. The cards are designed as keys to the story of creation, meant to be read as a book of alchemy. This is what I saw. So I have a tattoo of a cross, because for me it was the resurrection. I got a cover-up tattoo of a rose for the Rose Codex. Keep in mind that I knew none of this. Everything that I just channeled through and had to do a little bit of research on as far as Carl Jung and what Gnosticism is. Everything else that came through as visions, glimpses, and things that I am to be aware of and to start speaking out as the truth. This started in the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, when I was spiritually brought to my knees. Yeah, can label it whatever. I mean, sometimes things can come in maybe a little faster and maybe too much than what we're capable of processing in that moment. But as time passes, it sorts itself out. And we also have the power within us to ask that as messages come through, if we start to feel psychologically and emotionally overwhelmed, we can ask that it be slowed down. I had to. It could be overwhelming at times. And now I just let it flow in as it needs to, because I know and have complete trust that it's coming in as it's meant to. The more I did my healing work and shadow work and faced all the sides of me and incorporated and accepted every side of me, the more I see the truth for what it is, as it is. And things can flow in as naturally as they do, without me feeling so overwhelmed anymore. And we also can ask for clarification, just like when you pull clarifier cards in tarot. We can ask that when we're in our meditation. So the Sophia, the Mary Magdalene, the Ankh, the Rose Codex. Really, it's all about Carl Jung's individuation. It's all about the Gnostic knowing who we are as we are. It's about Thoth and the universal laws, or the Emerald Tablet. It's about taking power away from man as far as humanity and putting it back into the cosmic unity, the truth of who we are, the remembrance, it's the reassembly, the resurrection, getting back into the light body, the truth of who we are, and being released, unnetted from the trap of the matrix. That's why I think it's important to me, one of the reasons that I teach tarot and how to read the cards. Again, it's important for you to use your discernment and tap into your own intuition when pulling cards and reading them for yourself. But I want you to be able to do that for yourself. Do we still want to have other tarot readers and such? Of course, everyone's necessary, everyone's important, everybody has their thing. But I also want you to stand in your power and be able to do it for yourself. To bring you back to who you truly are. It's the map to ascension, to the remembrance and reassembly, to the light. Fibonacci came to me also around 2020, and for those of you that are musicians, see how you can incorporate that into your music. You'll be wildly successful when you do. It's healing. It's healing. It's vibration. It's vibration. That was Tesla, more so with the 369. A lot of this information was hidden from us, or stolen, or destroyed. It can't be stopped anymore. The truth is here. You have to want it. Not everybody is going to. You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. You're not meant to. We're all on our own path. As always, and in always, I love you.